Kansei is recommended for individuals 13 and up. For depictions of crime scenes and blood, viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, RavenSylphe here, and welcome to part 2. I think this will be part 2 of Kansei. Last time we came here to visit somebody, he died, and now we're going to figure out who killed him. that was boring. Anyways, let's see what's going on. Is that in a room? I can click on stuff now. Yay, it's more interactive. It's a water fountain. The glass orb is lit by a light bulb, but it looks like there's a bowl in the middle. I guess that back in the day it held oil for a flame. At first glance, it appears to be a peach tree, but all the peaches are actually light bulbs. That's sort of interesting. Actually, that is kind of interesting. That's actually kind of cool. Some sort of Chinese calligraphy. Too bad I can't read it. It's live bamboo. I bet a panda would enjoy it. I think that's all exploring. Can we talk to him? Detective Gursky stands across the room from me, arms folded across his chest. He appears to be deep in thought. It's not long before he notices that I'm looking at him.
What?
Nothing.
Well, that's not true.
Nothing I want to talk about, then. He crosses his arms and sighs.
I don't know where you've been all these years or why, but that look in your eyes is still the same.
What look?
The one that says you're already trying to figure everything out. It's like watching someone who just started work on a puzzle.
Wait, what? He said, what? What? Let's go back. I don't know where you've been all these years or why. What? Do you know me?
The one that says you're already trying to figure everything out. It's like watching someone who just started work on a puzzle. You're digging through the pieces and looking to build a frame, but you don't have much yet.
That much is true. I don't remember seeing you before, though.
I doubt you would. We've never met in person. I sure heard a lot about you, though. Both of you.
I suddenly feel my stomach knot up. How much is a lot?
Not enough, apparently. I thought you were dead. We all did.
So he knows who I am! Well, yeah, that was kind of on purpose.
Do you have any idea how much work was put into finding you?
Don't even start. I'm not in the mood to hear a lecture from someone who doesn't know what I'm going through.
You know, back in the day, I couldn't go 10 minutes without hearing your names. Oh, they're so great. What heroes these kids are. Why can't we have such helpful people here? What a joke. When we found her body, the first person they looked for was you, but you were nowhere to be found. At first, they thought you'd been kidnapped. As days passed, they thought maybe you'd been killed. When I saw you yesterday, I thought you had finally come back to do something worthwhile again.
I solved that murder for you, didn't I? What more do you want?
What about your sister's murder? You're the only witness, but you ran away. Why?
Wow. Some heavy stuff. It's complicated.
Things are only as complicated as you want them to be.
Aki told me the same thing this morning.
Then maybe you should listen.
I'd rather you don't get involved. This is something I have to deal with on my own.
Sorry, kid. I'm sworn to uphold the law. Even if you don't want me getting involved, I kinda have to.
I know. I sigh and let my hands fall to my sides. It's not what you think.
We'll talk about this more later, but I promise that this isn't over. I got a call this morning about my report from yesterday. You've already caused a disturbance with your return.
Oh no. Did Schultz find out yet?
Are you kidding? She was the first.
Or Schultz. And that's why I didn't want to tell you who I was. I knew they'd find out I was back.
They'd find you eventually. It was only a matter of time.
Am I in trouble?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Fuck.
If it weren't for Aki's insistence that you stay with her, I'm sure they'd already have come to take you back.
This is not good. This is so not good. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you try actually having a backbone this time around?
Listen, I'm sorry, okay? I was 15 and stupid. And I shouldn't have run away. Oh, I guess I am a kid. That would put me at 18. But can we just focus on the dead body we've got on our hands right now? I kind of feel like we're letting the past get in the way of the present.
The present only exists because of the past, you know.
Gursky studies my face carefully, gauging my reaction. Finally, he sighs and shakes his head.
But I see your point. Figuring out the cause of death for Mr. Otten does take priority right now. I'll be upstairs. Come talk to me if you find out anything.
Sure thing, dude. Let's go this way. As I enter the hallway, I nearly run over by a guy as he rushes out from around the corner.
Whoa! Sorry, dude.
Dude? He skids to a halt and jumps a few times, holding his hands out in self-defense. Hi? He stops for a moment to look me over.
Never seen you around before. You're not one of Liam's friends, are you?
Not really. Hardly know the guy.
Oh, good. I can't stand Liam's friends. Don't tell him I said that.
Your secret's safe with me, I guess. Who are you?
Kevin, I'm the IT guy. I run all the security here. Got a blip in my system saying the power went out, so I came here to see what happened. Sophia hasn't been answering my calls.
You came here? I thought the house was in lockdown. Kevin taps the temple on his head.
Master code unlocks any door.
Right.
And who are you again?
Con guy. I'm a special investigator.
Wicked. So Big Will is finally gonna bring down the hammer on Liam in his little nightlife.
Big Will? Does he mean William Otten? Actually, Mr. Otten just passed away. Kevin stares at me blankly for a moment, but his expression slowly changes as he processes my statement.
Passed away? As in, dead?
I'm not entirely sure there's another way to interpret that.
Whoa.
Kevin runs his fingers through his hair and laughs nervously.
Sorry, man. This is just... Wow, I can't believe it. It's kinda unreal, you know? I just saw him yesterday and he looked fine. Well, as fine as a guy his age can look. Well, as fine as a super paranoid guy his age can look. Well, as fine as a super paranoid guy who drinks a lot at his age.
Would you just shut up? Yeah, I get it.
So what happened?
I guess we shouldn't lie. Well, he may have been murdered.
Holy cow! Murdered? I didn't see that one coming.
Kevin rubs his chin thoughtfully. Ah!
Guess that's what he meant.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Otten never liked to talk about his history. Anytime someone asked, he'd always say that he'd buried his past a long time ago. Once, when he'd had a little too much to drink, he told me that he was afraid that one day his past would come back and return the favor.
That sounds pretty ominous. It would fit with the fact that he's built up his house like a fortress, though.
Man, dead? Really?
He shakes his head.
Sorry, that's just too weird. I'm still having a hard time believing it. So, are the police gonna question us all and stuff?
Probably. I grimace as I realize that I'm about to be dragged into yet another investigation.
Well, I guess I'll hang out here until then. I'll be in the security room if you need me. It's the first door on the left here in this hallway.
Oh, that one there? Okay. It's a retina scanner. The door only unlocks if you have clearance. There's a keypad attached to it. I bet I could override the scanner if I knew the right codes. Same thing there. Can't click that. Okay. Done exploring. What's in here? Oh, that's just back out. Okay. This is... I tried to open the door, but it doesn't open. I thought Kevin said he'd be in here. I knock on the door and hear the sound of footsteps. The door slides open.
What's up?
You said you'd be here.
Yeah, I did. What do you want?
I crane my neck to peer over Kevin's shoulders. The room behind him looks mostly empty, but I can see the glow of a television screen against the wall. Can I come in? Kevin frowns, but he steps aside to let me in.
Sure, why not? Since Mr. Otten hired you, you'd probably be allowed in here anyway.
Probably not, but whatever you think. It doesn't take long to scan the contents of the cold room. There's not much in the tile floor save for a single chair. A long counter stretches across one wall. It bears a lonely keyboard and a mouse. Mounted on the wall are several monitors, all flickering with images of various rooms in the house. At first glance, it appears to be a room meant for a high-security corporate building, rather than just a house.
Welcome to my Fortress of Solitude. This is the command center for the entire house.
So you can see everything from
Not
here.
everything. Mr. Otten's office is strictly off limits. Very private, you know. No one knows what he does in there.
He folds his arms across his chest and scowls.
As if it isn't obvious.
Obvious? What's obvious?
Mr. Otten never likes to be far from his booze. His solution to anything stressful is to drink it away. Of course, he tries to hide it because it's not very professional, but every time he walks out of that room, he reeks of alcohol.
Can you think of any reason that someone would want Mr. Otten dead?
You're kidding, right?
No.
You must be new around here. Mr. Otten's infamous around these parts. He's a ruthless sort of dude. Any little guy tries to start something new, he crushes them, poaches employees, spreads rumors, heck, he's even brought in the courts multiple times.
Wow, sounds like a wonderful guy.
He'll say that these other companies are infringing on his trademark or something equally stupid. Of course, that's only the stuff we know about. If you ask me, he's got more than just dirty business practices going on. I mean, seriously, look at this place. No one builds a house like this in the middle of nowhere unless he's got something to hide. If he's not doing something illegal, I'll eat my motherboard.
Why do you work for Mr. Otten?
The money. Duh.
But you said he's probably doing illegal things. Doesn't that bother you?
Never actually witnessed him do anything illegal, and maintaining his security system is harmless. So even if he goes down, I can't be held responsible for anything.
In other words, you really don't care where the money comes from as long as you don't get in trouble.
Yeah, pretty much. Why, should I?
I'm starting to think that I'm not going to like anyone in this house. If these are the people Mr. Otten surrounds himself with, I can't imagine the sort of people he's trying to hide from. How'd you get this job?
Mr. Otten offered it to me.
Really?
Well, yeah, he handpicks everyone who works for him.
How'd he find you?
I graduated in the top of my class at a university he funds. He offered this job to me straight out of college.
That's pretty lucky.
Yeah, that's the word for it.
Whoa, am I imagining things, or is he resentful about something? That's all for now.
Come by if you want to ask me anything else.
Okay. Let's examine the room a little bit. I doubt Kevin would appreciate it if I poked around and stuff. I should probably wait for a time when he's not around. Oh, okay. So then I guess let's leave and move. Let's try this door. Oh, bathroom. Let's examine. Sink with porcelain basin, lamp, bathroom stall with a toilet in it. Looks like a public restroom. I wonder if Mr. Otten used to accept a lot of guests. Soap dispenser, a chair. Sadly not as comfortable as it looks. There's a space between the frame and the wall, so it's not a two-way mirror. I can't believe I'm checking for this. Old habits die hard, I guess. A lamp. A bulb uses the bulb uses a lower wattage than an incandescent bulb. Aki would probably attempt some sort of Mr. Watton at this point. Okay, I guess I'm done exploring. Let's leave. Nothing there really. Move. Let's go here. The atmosphere in the kitchen is tense. The sound of my footsteps sounds unusually loud on the tile floor. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, Naoki! Naoki welcomes me with a half-hearted smile. Sophia is standing at the other end of the kitchen, sipping slowly from a cup of tea. Her eyes don't waver from the small cup in her hands. I lean in towards Naoki. Is she okay?
She's feeling better. Still a little shaken up, though. She was crying pretty hard when we found Mr. Otten's body.
Kansei,
Yes?
I hope you don't mind if I ask you something.
No. Go ahead.
How did you know that something bad happened to Mr. Otten?
That's...
Naoki, please. I was asking Kangai.
Sorry.
So, how did you know?
Oh boy, what should I say? If I tell the truth, she might think I'm crazy, but I really don't want to lie to her. I guess you could say I have a sort of sixth sense.
A sixth sense? As in psychic?
I guess you could call it
Can
that.
you give me details on how it works?
Well, she actually sounds like she might believe me. I can't really say, I just feels things. I get sick sometimes and I know something bad has happened. Naoki's staring hard at me as if I should keep quiet. I guess just talking about my Kansei is a bad idea. Still, I feel as if she deserves at least a partial truth.
I see. I suppose it's different then.
Different from what?
Many years ago, Mr. Otten experimented with extending the mental capacities of human beings. It's not like what you described, though.
What sort of experiments?
I don't really know much about it. It was a long time ago, before I started. He just mentioned it in passing once, so I thought maybe that had something to do with it. He was terribly drunk at the time, though, so I suppose he might not have even been telling the truth.
I don't know. The times when somebody is likely to tell you the truth is A, if they're a child, B, they're dying, and C, when they're really, really drunk.
I'm sorry, I'm jumping to the strangest conclusions here. I must not be in a very good frame of mind right now.
Sophia shies and shuts her eyes. She looks like she wants to cry again. Sorry, you really cared about Mr. Otten, didn't you? For a moment, Sophia doesn't respond. Her shoulders shudder as she takes in a deep breath. Finally, she opens her eyes and speaks in barely more than a whisper.
I don't know what I'm going to do now that he's gone.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Naoki places a gentle hand on Sophia's shoulder. For a moment, I feel strange. She definitely sounds sincere, but something about what she said just sounds off.
I'm sorry. I just really want to find the person who did this. If there's anything you need to know, just ask, okay?
Yeah, sure, thanks. Let's examine the room. That must be the tea. It's empty. It's empty. It's just a normal kettle, nothing suspicious about it. A spoon with a hole in the bottom, probably just useful for serving soup, but perfect for not useful for serving soup, but perfect for straining pasta. Okay. Small jar of salt. Looking at how large the grains are, I'd guess kosher. Microwave, it's very clean. Sophia really keeps things tidy around here. Gas stove, commercial grade, nothing there. The fridge is pretty well stocked, but it's all prepackaged food. I guess no one cooks around here. The door leads back into the hallway. Okay, I guess that's it. Let's talk to... What do you think about Mr. Otten's death?
What do I think? I think it's terrible. I really don't like having to see dead bodies.
He's so adorable! Well, I meant, who do you think did it?
I really can't say. I don't want to make any judgments.
He glances to the side and begins absent-mindedly fiddling with his fingers. Can you at least tell me your thoughts on everyone here?
Well, Liam is pretty angry with his uncle. His eyebrows went down every time he spoke about him. He covered his face when Aki started asking more questions, so he's got something to hide. I'm pretty sure Marissa's hiding something too. Every time she smiles, her eyebrows go up, as if she's worried. After she finished her interview with Mr. Otten, she was even more nervous than before.
Naoki glances at Sophia before leaning in and whispering.
Sophia was pretty frustrated when we came, but now she's really anxious. She won't stop pacing back and forth.
What about Kevin?
You mean that guy with the red hair? I didn't really get to see his face. Sorry.
Don't worry about it, I was just curious. Really, it's good enough that you know this much. I'm kind of impressed.
I've been studying body language for a while now.
Look at that smile, he's so precious! Okay, thanks.
Feel free to come talk more if you want.
Of course. Why do you work for Mr. Otten?
Mr. Otten values my services. I am a trained professional and an excellent personal assistant.
That wasn't really an answer. What I meant was, why did you choose to work for him?
I have personal reasons, but my employment is both legal and morally sound.
Oh, okay. I'll come back later.
Of course.
I guess let's head on elsewhere. Go here. Wait, that's the bathroom. Ah! Move here. Oh. Haley May is gazing blankly at the direction of a collection of old plates. I approach, but she barely seems to notice my presence. So, hey. Lee May blinks slowly and turns to face me. She nods once to acknowledge my presence. I shift my weight from one foot to the next as she stares at me expectantly. What am I even supposed to say? How are you feeling? She stares at me with a mixture of surprise and confusion.
I don't know.
She says it so simply, I almost feel foolish for asking. I guess I was just wondering if you were okay, since someone died after all. She tilts her head and looks at me curiously.
Does it bother you?
Does what bother me?
Death.
Yeah. Yeah, of course it bothers me. I mean, even if I've experienced it before, that doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. Death is a terrible thing, no matter how often you see it. I stare at my hands and rub my fingers slowly together. My palms feel sweaty. What about you? Lee May stares at me curiously, as if she doesn't fully understand my question. I mean, are you bothered by death? She fidgets and examines her open palms the same way I just did. Slowly she rubs together her fingertips as if she's never seen her hands before. Finally she speaks.
He was very scared.
Mr. Otten?
Yes, but even though I felt his fear, I knew that I was not scared. I'm not scared, but I still feel scared. Does that mean I'm bothered or not bothered?
I sigh and lean against the door frame. You know, I've always wondered what it would feel like to die. Lee May tilts her head to the side. She looks curious. I mean, I've experienced death, of course, but they're not mine. And somewhere in the back of my mind, every time I do it, I always know it's not mine. I've always wondered, when I die, will I be afraid? Or will I think that it's just someone else's death again? Or maybe by the time I die, I'll be so comfortable with it I won't even care. Even though I know it's mine. I turn to face Lee May. She's watching my face carefully. I don't know. That wasn't really an answer, huh? I laugh and shrug casually. Honestly, I don't even know why I said any of that. I guess I'm just trying to say is that there isn't really an answer. You and I both have to carry other people's emotions. It's tiring and sometimes it's confusing. But I think that's... if we didn't have these abilities, we'd still be sad when other people are sad and scared when other people are scared. That's just being human. Lee May smiles and takes my hand in hers. Aw.
Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome. What is everybody feeling right now?
Naoki is scared.
I understand that. No, I meant the others, not our friends.
Oh. I apologize.
Okay, she's adorable too. When she's got expressions on her face. It's fine, I wasn't very specific. Mimi takes a deep breath and closes her eyes again. This time, it takes her a little longer to sort out her thoughts.
Sophia is sad. She feels as if there is no hope, but there is also relief.
Relief. Again, I feel uneasy about Sophia. Earlier when I asked her if she cared about Mr. Otten, she didn't actually answer me. All she said was that she didn't know what she'd do now that he's gone. I don't know why that bugs me so much, but it seems like she's avoiding the question.
Marissa is scared and disappointed. There's so much emotion inside of her. It's all flowing at the same time. She wants to be happy, but she also feels very guilty. Humans are very complicated.
Lee May nods earnestly as if she struck a new idea. I nod in return.
Kevin is uncertain. He does not know what he should be feeling.
He definitely seemed to have trouble believing me when I told him that Mr. Otten died. Denial, I guess.
And Liam... I can't.
What's wrong?
He's with Aki right now. She is manipulating his emotions with her Kansei. I cannot tell what is his and what is not.
Aki. That girl seems to enjoy invading other people's privacies. It's a wonder that Naoki and Lee May put up with her. Hopefully whatever she's up to will lead to something useful. What did you do before you lived with Aki and Naoki?
I'm not allowed to speak about that.
Is there anything you are allowed to speak about? Lee May closes her eyes and takes a small breath. Her lips move slowly as if she's poring over the list of things she's allowed to share. Finally, she opens her eyes and smiles with a self-satisfied look on her face. She's adorable.
I'm authorized to share anything that might aid your investigation.
Whoa, what's with that phrasing? She sounds so formal all of a sudden. What does the calligraphy on the front hallway
No
say?
dust settles here. It means that this place is quiet and safe from influence of the outside world.
Huh. Okay. Do you know much about the artifacts in this place? Lime nods. Could you maybe tell me about
If you
them?
wish.
Yeah, I do.
Most are safety charms meant to ward off danger.
I turned to the large tapestry on the wall. What about this? What are these animals?
They are the 4 legendary creatures: tortoise, dragon, phoenix, and tiger.
For some reason, this mythology feels familiar, but I'm not sure why. It's not anything I've ever studied. Do they stand for anything in particular?
Many things. Seasons, directions on the compass, sometimes schools of thought. Overall, they represent balance.
That's weird. They feel kind of familiar, especially
The
the
tiger
tiger.
and the dragon are mortal enemies.
Mimi reaches out to touch the tapestry, but she hesitates and draws her
The
hand
dragon
back.
represents cunning and intelligence, and the tiger represents raw power and strength. Dragon and tiger, mind and body, they fight each other constantly, but neither can win.
My stomach tightens as I look at the tapestry hanging on the wall. An endless fight where neither can win. Mimi watches me carefully. She's trying to decipher my emotions, but I don't even fully understand what I'm feeling.
What bothers you?
I'm not sure. It's probably nothing. Lime doesn't seem satisfied with my response. No, there's no surprise there, since I'm not satisfied either. I don't really have anything else to say, though, as our conversation dissolves into uncomfortable silence. I'll talk to you later. She nods. Let's examine the room. And he says they're from Chinese mythology. The plates are the same animals as the tapestry. I guess these creatures are really important. Some old armor from the Qin dynasty. If the label is to be believed, looks like it's still in decent condition, so I guess it's worked pretty well for whoever owned it previously. A very nice urn. It must have been expensive when it was first made. It's probably even more expensive now. What's this? A lot of strange markings on this thing. According to the label, it's an oracle bone. I guess people tried to see the future with this. Some sort of box. There's no label on it. I guess it's not important. I'm not sure where this door leads. Outside, I guess? Either way, it's locked. I guess we're done here. See you later, Lime. Actually, we're out of time. So we will continue exploring the mansion next time. And be sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.